Good everyone, bonjour tout le monde, this is Roger, and welcome to this new episode of BIA DD Dodgers of Canada. Today we are in Aquino, where there's this monument dedicated to the Canadians, actually that was dedicated in 2019. At the start of this new episode, we want to cover the stories when the Canadians entered the Leary Valley. During the winter months, the Canadians were augmented from a division to a corps when the 5th Canadian Armored Division was added to the Canadian Forces.
Then, together with troops tested in Sicily and Italy, they will form a corps under a Canadian command.
On the 15th of April, 11th Brigade, which includes the Perth Regiment, Westminster Regiment, and the Irish Regiment of Canada, were attached to the 2nd Division New Zealand in the mountains northeast of Casino. With them as well was a battalion called the San Marco Battalion, which was Italian Sailors Infantry, and a group of engineers. This brigade conducted operations for about a month in the mountains, and then they rejoined the rest of the corps. There was an elaborate deception plan put together to make the Germans believe that the Canadians were moving Salerno to conduct amphibious operations, where in fact they were coming into the Leary Valley in preparation for what we're going to cover next, which is Operation Diadem. After the bloody month of December, the Canadians took up a defensive role along the Ariel River. There were many aggressive patrolling conducted behind enemy lines. Actually, some soldiers distinguished themselves. Two of them were snipers, one from the West Nova Scotia Regiment, which was Corporal Jeremy at Mi'kmaq, who was credited over 60 kills. Another sniper was Mr. Stan Chiasson, an Acadian from New Brunswick, who belonged to the Royal 22e Regiment, who also was credited over 60 enemy kills. Capitaine Paul Triquet, the VC winner, went with his company, sealed off the little town of Crecchio, and then went door to door conducting house clearing to the astonishment of a panic-stricken enemy. But there was also moments of humanity during these winter months. One in particular was when the Cape Breton Highlanders had engaged some German patrol coming into their line, killing 17 and wounded several others. In the morning, a short truce was established between the Germans and the Canadians, so to allow them to collect their dead and wounded off the battlefield. And these moments displayed how, even though in a wartime situation, we can have some type of humanity between us. At the end of those winter months, regardless that we had large military operations, there were still 120 Canadians killed and 585 wounded. In Canadian military history, the Battle of the Leary Valley is the name given to Operation Diadem. It was a large offensive operation undertaken by the US 5th Army and the British 8th Army in May 1944 to break the west edge of the Gustav Line and the Hitler Line to open up the Leary Valley, the main route to Rome. The operation was coordinated to precede the landings in Normandy in order to keep the German 10th Army tied down in Italy. It was also supported by air attacks called Operation Strangle. Operation Diadem was launched at 2300 hours, 11 May, by the British 4th Infantry Division and the 8th Indian Infantry Division, supported by tanks of the 1st Canadian Armored Brigade. They successfully crossed the Gargliano and Rapido River after a very costly battle. The combined attack of 4 Allied corps, including the Polish 2 Corps, British 13 Corps, the French Expeditionary Corps, and the US 6 Corps at Anzio, broke into the heart of the German defenses, which forced them to commit their reserve units. On 14 May, the French Corps pushed through the mountains on the left, supported by the US 2 Corps along the coast. On 17 May, the Polish 2 Corps attacked Monte Cassino, that had been reduced to dust by air bombing, but was still heavily defended by German paratroopers. After the collapse of the Gustav Line, the Germans pulled back to the heavily fortified Hitler Line 16 kilometers to the rear. On the 23rd of May, as the US 6 Corps fought their way out of the Anzio beachhead, spearheaded by the Canada-US 1st Special Service Force, the 1st Canadian Infantry Division, and the 4th Princess Louise Dragoon Guards captured the town of Pontecorvo. The 1st and 3rd Brigade were successful in capturing their objectives to breach the Hitler Line. But, unfortunately, 2 Brigade, mostly the Princess Patricia Canadian Light Infantry, was almost decimated in a low field near Aquino. Now let's go together and discover the Hitler Line with our guides Roberto Mole and Alessandro Campagna.
Okay, Roger, we found this Tobruk bunker just 3 years ago. Is the last we have found with our association, because we tried to find all the bunker still there in the Hitler Line from Piedimonte to Pontecorvo. And still today we have found 15 of Tobruk concrete and 1 Panther Turm concrete still resist after the war. This bunker was called from the Allied Tobruk because in Tobruk in North Africa is the first time found meet this bunker.
Okay.
Is a bunker for 2 soldiers with a machine gun. Inside there is the reserve with ammunition, and inside there is possible also use a mortars 80 mm or the flak 20 mm, different weapons. The German made the Hitler Line defense with a mixed system of the anti-personnel mines, anti-tank mines, barbed wire, and there is the strong point of the Panther Turm. The Panther Turm is a Panther turret fixed on the concrete, fixed 75 mm. Is very deadly weapons, and around for the defense of these 3 points there is many of these top bunker. In Cassino before there is the mountain for the defense of the German, but the Hitler Line was flat, and from November, December 1943 until March, April 1944 the German built this strong defense, because from Aquino area, Valle di Aquino to this position there is the 1st German division paratroopers, the Fallschirmjäger.
The same one we met in Ortona.
Yes, the same fought in Cassino in the hill of the monastery. It's very elite troops, very strong troops. And then when the Canadian meet these troops, the same of Ortona, it was very strong fighting.
There. Great, thank you. That's really impressive.
Yeah.
So if I understand correctly, we are the first, our viewers are the first to discover these Tobruk.
Yeah, yes, the first to film this.
We're very privileged.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Roberto.
Thank you to you. Thank you. another Tobruk bunker. There.
In there? So Roberto, we're in the area of the PCLI, if I understand
Yes.
very well.
We stay on Forme di Aquino. Is a valley just behind the town of Aquino, and there is the section of the attack of Pgl High and Seaford Highlander and the North Irish Horse. The 2nd Brigade in the 23 of May 1944 have the first objective is the road from Aquino to Pontecorvo.
Which would be a little running
Yes, it was called from the Canadian Abu Qir line.
That was the objective.
Yes, it was the first objective. It's very important to take this road. This is the only road from Aquino to Pontecorvo. This is a copy of an original map, Canadian map.
Okay.
Then show also the German defense. In this area, the Germans have very many bunkers, anti-tank mines, anti-personnel mines, barbed wire. But for the Germans, it's important to have the position in the height part of the valley. Then, when the Canadians advance in the center of the valley, the German firing from the right, from left, and from front. There is no chance to broken the line there.
That this was the actual line of advance
just
we're on.
this is the little river is Forme di Aquino River. We stay exactly in the point on the attack of the Pgl High, Seaford Highlander, with the support of the North Irish Horse. And many tanks was destroyed this day.
How many tanks were destroyed on the advance here?
Maybe in this attack 10 tanks
10
was
tanks?
destroyed.
Like they
After
were,
a trade.
And what I read, like we read in the account, is that the tanks were like going up in flame, and
Yes.
and the crews were burning
in
alive.
the, yes, in the official story of this battle, in the first night after the first attack, 23 of May, the night is in daylight for all the tank destroyed in the battlefield, still burning.
And you know, from what we read from the account of the war diary of the PPCLI,
Yeah.
Colonel Ware was the commanding officer, was crying the loss of his men. He says so many men died in that one day. He had about 77 Patricias left at the end of the battle. And these were and where we're talking about the Seaford Highlanders, Loyal Edmonton Regiment, and the PPCLI,
Yeah.
they were the heroes of Ortona.
Yeah.
And here they met the paratroopers one more time, and this time the paratroopers had the upper hand on them.
Yeah.
It's really, really sad to see so many young men lose their life, and
Yes.
good soldiers.
Good soldiers, brave soldiers,
And
but don't have a chance there.
didn't
In
have
fact, the first broken of the Hitler line happened close to Pontecorvo, in another part of this defense line.
So 3rd Brigade were more
Yes.
lucky, and maybe we could go there after. And
Yes,
see.
we go there now.
Okay. Well, thank you, Roberto. It's very important to understand. You know, even though we have perfect training, perfect equipment, and a good plan, the Germans had excellent positions and were prepared further, and they put everything they had in this little valley. And unfortunately, many young Canadians died that day. Roberto, we're standing here. Like this is one of those bunkers with the tank, the Panzer tank turret, right?
Yes. This is the German call it the Panther turn.
Panther.
Is a strong position with the turret of the Panther tank. Have a range of 3,000 meters. And
3,000.
yes, on the Hitler line, the German built 15 of these positions from Piedimonte to Pontecorvo in Dodder.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the strong position of the defense of the German, and because with the range of the gun can hit the Allied, the Canadian tank before the tank can hit the position, you know?
They had a longer range.
Yeah, the longer
tanks.
range, yes.
Did these turret were about to do a 360 degrees?
Yes,
Yeah.
possible, yes. And so, but the direction of the attack, Canadian coming from south, from this position, to the north, to Rome,
Yeah.
and the
the
gun stay in this position.
Okay.
Yes.
They would have been aiming this way.
The concrete is very large, more than
Yeah, I can see
one
that.
meter.
It's over a meter wide.
Yes, it's very. Inside the concrete there is the steel with the turret up, because this turret is not reused from the tank destroyed. Was built only for that.
For that, okay.
Yeah, for fixed in the position.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And they were very effective, very deadly.
Very deadly. There destroyed many tanks. And the last we come back to Pontecorvo, the first important town conquered from the Canadian after the broken of the Gustav Line.
Okay, well, let's do this.
Great.
So, very important to note, right, that as the artillery was supporting the infantry or the combined arms going in the front on the assault, the artillery had always to be in a position where they could support it, which was not always practical or easy, and also had to be concerned about the counter battery. And as a result of that, 450 gunners, artillerymen, lost their lives during the Italian campaign, and we must pay tribute to the courage of these men, the hard work, the thousands and thousands of rounds that they fired on enemy positions to make sure that we were successful in our operations. You agree with that, my friend?
Yes, I agree. But the support of the artillery is very important in the attack on the Liri Valley, because the troops in the advance have in the rear the artillery then firing just in the front of the attack, and destroyed many German defense weapons.
Right now, let's go see the bridge of Pontecorvo, and maybe if you want to talk about the history of how this was, what happened here. Hey Roberto, we're looking down at the bridge there of the Pontecorvo over the Liri Valley.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the story, what happened here at Pontecorvo in 1943?
Yes, the Allied know this bridge is very important because crossing the Liri river, and try to destroy this bridge in the 1st November 1943, and evilly bombing the area for try of destroy the bridge, but unfortunately the town was destroyed, but the bridge have only a little damage, and then the German restored the bridge in few days.
Oh, right. But the whole town was like blown.
The town
destroyed.
was completely flat, and there is maybe 300, 400 people died in this bombing.
Oh.
Also the cathedral was in the ruins. heavy casualties. The 2nd Brigade was stopped in the attack to Forme di Aquino because it's very impossible to broken the Hitler line there.
Yeah.
So more successful have the 3rd Brigade, the 1st Brigade, with the Three Rivers Tanks Regiment, a Royal Tank Regiment Brigade, in Campo Vincenzo, after destroyed the German defense. In the 24th of May, the Canadian troops entering in the town in ruins, but liberated Ponte Corvo.
Yeah. So what exactly, which regiment walked in the town first?
The Carleton New York Regiment.
Carleton and York Regiment.
Yes, entering the town. And the first soldier entering the town found the ruins of the cathedral. The tower bell was in the ruins. With the soldier climbing up and ring the bell.
Is that right?
Yes, but it's very dangerous because the tower is completely in ruins.
All right.
But ring the bell for says to the comrade, okay, we stay here, we are liberated. Also, it's very interesting because two officers entering in the cathedral and found in the ruins of the cathedral the book of the cathedral.
Oh.
And opened the book and signed this book with the name of the officer. And so we are Canadian officer, and today we enter in Ponte Corvo, and now we can view this book.
Oh, well, let's go look at it.
Great.
And maybe ring the bell.
Why not?
All right.
Yes, I found this book in the ruins of the cathedral, and signed Ponte Corvo, 24 May 1944. Allied entered, and the sign of the officers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for bringing us here.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we could ask a special request. Because these guys climbed the tower to ring the bell so the Canadians were here, and maybe we should relive that if we can.
Un soldato canadese salì e suonò una campana. E è possibile suonare che lui va là, fa finta che non suona, facciamo una difesa.
Anche un solo diventare tu.
Sì. Ok, Roger, you climb up.
Yes.
And down they have the shot of you. When
Perfect. That sounds good.
Movie, then you.
I can bring we did the GoPro and
You want to follow me with that?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Since 1944, first Canadian to ring the Ponte Corvo bell. So, yeah, in the name of freedom, these Canadians came from far away and made sure that the people, all the people of Italy and Europe, were going to have a better world to live in, and a safer and more prosperous world. We thank you, everybody that helped us. Roberto Mole, Alessandro Campagna. Alessandro, come here. You know,
Ciao from Ponte Corvo.
from Ponte Corvo. Ciao, everybody. And see you on the next episode of Behind the Dodger of Canada. Custos Memoria.